problem is we're on the verge of an economic collapse. Certainly, we have all the ingredients for a major market meltdown. The government has to get out of the way and let our phony economy collapse.
A recession becomes a depression when governments interfere with the market and prevent market forces from correcting the imbalances that took place during the preceding boom. Because you always have a bust following a boom, but oftentimes governments interfere, much the way they did in the 1930s. The Great Depression was a function of Hoover and Roosevelt's repeated attempts to stimulate the economy, to bail people out. That is exactly what Bush, Obama are doing now. And I think in the United States, the U.S. is going to turn what would have been a very severe recession into another Great Depression, except this one could be a greater depression because I think it's going to be an inflationary depression, which is going to be much more problematic and painful for average American citizens than was the depression that we had during the 1930s. Now, whether the rest of the world is going to follow us into this global depression, I think depends on what the world does. If the world continues to subsidize our economy, continues to loan our government whatever amount of money it wants to borrow and spend, and if the world continues to prop up the dollar and lend money to Americans so we can keep consuming, then we could drag the entire world into a depression because it's going to cost the world countless trillions to try to prop us up. I think the only way the world is going to get out from under this is to stop lending America money, to stop buying our government bonds, our mortgage-backed securities. Don't buy any of the securitized credit card debt or auto loans, and keep your money for yourselves. Invest that money productively in capital, in your own countries. Don't simply loan it to us so that we can squander it on more consumption and bigger government, because in the long run, you're actually hurting the U.S. economy because you're helping us dig ourselves into a bigger hole. And ultimately, the world is going to cut the United States off. They have to. They will have no choice. The problem is the longer the world waits, the more painful it's going to be for everybody.